Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, March 23rd, and this is episode 6 of Imposter Syndrome Disrupted. So glad to have you here. As always, come on in. Let's check in. Let me know who's here with me. So check in, leave a comment. Let me know your location, city, state, or country, wherever you are. Do the check-in. Let me know. But it is Women's History Month still. It's March. So, hi, Joyce. Good to have you here. I'm going to put you up, feature you, because you're the first to do the check-in. So nice to have you here. Hope all is well. But it's March, Women's History Month. Just a special month for us to put the spotlight on us women, trailblazers, women making history, right? But that's every day, all day, right? So it's just a friendly reminder in March for other people, but we're here doing it, making things happen, making history every day, all day. Hey, Stephanie. Hi. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I get distracted by certain people, but I love you all. And so happy to have you here, everyone. Hi, Francisca Wynn, but I have to put this one up. And she knows why, and I'm going to do the shout out. And I haven't talked to her yet, but I'm going to just say it now. She's coming on as a guest. So, Tawana, get ready. Okay? You're coming on. And I just haven't had time, but we're going to talk. Hey, there's Sunshine. I'm saying this because, and so Tawana Ross, so phenomenal, such a, okay, talking about trailblazer. For me, she's a trailblazer. And I'm going to say the history and all of how she and I met and the importance of her to this whole thing of imposter syndrome disrupted, because she helped me disrupt an imposter thought that I used to have. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that as a little teaser. Okay, but so glad to have Tawana here. She's a fellow LinkedIn coach, LinkedIn expert. So glad to have her here. Hello, Amanda, Sally from Oconomowoc. I should know how to say it. I live in Wisconsin. But so glad to have you here as well, Sally. All right. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because I want to make sure I have a lot of time for my guests as well, but continue to do the check-ins. Where are you? So even Tawana, do your check-in. Where are you from? I know, but everyone else doesn't know. So where are you? City and state. Hi, Phyllis from Oregon. Nice to have you. All right. So episode 6, how's your Women's History Month been going? What's been going on? So if you were here for episode 5, we did I love the transcripts, the chat, the comments, all of that. If you didn't check it out, go back and check out that episode. But the comments of all the I am statements and what differentiates you. I loved and loved. Wondering if I'm the only person who lives in England. Who is this? So you don't have, please give StreamYard. So I use StreamYard for this. Give StreamYard permission. So in the post, there should have been a hyperlink asking you to give StreamYard permission so that I can see your Chi-Town is here. All right, Tawana. So that I can see your profile image and that I can know who's making the comments. So I have to give this one as well. And then I'm going to move on because I love the chat. I do. But Lee from Los Angeles, you know why I'm giving a shout out to him? Because it's a him. And allyship is important. So this is all about imposter syndrome disrupted, focus on empowering women entrepreneurs. But having the allyship of men is important as well. So hi, Lee, nice to have you. But I want to know who's from England, like, because you're not giving StreamYard permission, but so glad to have you. What time is it in England right now? Like, that's phenomenal that you're here with us. Okay, so let me get to the business of things. Didn't see the StreamYard link. Please remind me where to find it. It's Francisca from England. So nice to have you, Francisca. And the link should be there on as the header kind of, or the comments, the text. If not, not sure why, but as long as I know you're here, that's all that matters, right? And then it can be seen and actually on LinkedIn, just not as I'm here in the broadcast studio. So let me get started into what we do right off from the beginning, and it's motivational quote time, right? So let me share the one for today. And I thought this was fitting because it's still Women's History Month, right? And I think this is one of those sentinel, like real, like every time we think about Women's History Month, this is the one we're going to think about or see somewhere rotating throughout the month. So, like, this is the last episode for Women's History Month. So I had to share. Well-behaved women do not make history. We got to stand up. Like, I can't stand up right now because then I'm out the view. But we got to stand up, be bold, be courageous, make things happen. If we're quiet, if we're low-key, we're not owning our brilliance, our skills and expertise and all that good stuff, we're not going to make history. We're going to, and to make it more specific to this conversation, we're not going to make business. We're not going to get business done, right? We're not going to keep our businesses going. We have to like go out the box, create our own lanes. I hate that phrase. Oh, I shouldn't say hate. I told my granddaughter not to say that word, but I do not like the phrase stay in your own lane. That's offensive when I hear people tell me that or try to say that. We have the power to create our own lanes, right? Make our own history, create our own paths, all of that, right? So, well-behaved women, boring. Don't get things done. Let's get things done by forging ahead and misbehaving a bit or two whenever necessary. So that's the quote. Let me get into the news. And so as a reminder, this is the format for each episode. The welcome, of course, and I get to have fun in the chat. Empowering quote, entrepreneurship news, and then the topic and the guest. Let me do this before I get into the entrepreneurship news. I've always shared that because I'm a news junkie and all of that, I want to make sure this is resourceful for you, that this show, Imposter Syndrome Disrupted, is of value to you. So in between each episode, I'm archiving, I'm researching, I'm cataloging relevant information for us as women entrepreneurs. And I'm going to go and share my screen now. I published an article right after or shortly after the show that includes, and so I'm walking you through on how to go to that. And it's really just going to my LinkedIn profile, right? And then when you go to my LinkedIn profile, you go down to my activities section. And then you do the see all. And then you go to, well, for the lives, you go to the post tab, but for these, you go to the articles tab. And I hope you're seeing this, but I'm talking you through it as well. And then when you get through to the post tab, you'll see, it'll say Imposter. You go through and you'll see the articles that say Imposter Syndrome Disrupted News Brief. And each of the episodes, I have a different news brief that details information from the shows. Okay. And so I'm going to stop the share now, but information from the shows are there, and it will include all the hyperlinks from the relevant articles. Okay. Now with this one in particular, I do want to point out, so I'm going to read just the headlines from some of them, and then I want to just make sure you're aware of this particular one, and I'll leave that up as I go. But one article is Stop Telling Women They Have Imposter Syndrome. Is from Harvard Business Review, and it was from February 11th. So that'll be in the digest. Then there's 10 successful women entrepreneurs share their best business advice for women. That was March 5th from Constant Contact. Very interesting. So check that one out. Imposter syndrome is more widespread than you think. Here's how to recognize the imposter voice in your head. And that's from CEO Blog Nation. Check that out for March 6th. And then the next one is CNBC, 4 key pieces for small business owners of color from a coach with clients like Google. All right. So check that one out as well. And then here is the one I want to make sure you're on board with and put it on your calendar. It's for March 24th. It's a free event So that's tomorrow, right? Wisdom for Women from NASDAQ Entrepreneur. Even if you go to their LinkedIn company page, you'll see it, LinkedIn Entrepreneurs. I forget the rest of the name of the company page. But again, you'll see the article. Give me about an hour after the show. I'll post it. But how to build your personal advisory board. And I think this is even, it ties into the guests that I'll have today. And she's waiting in the studio. So I have to hurry. I see her friendly face looking at me like, hurry, Clarene, we got a lot to talk about. So here is the reminder to register. This is a free event and it's tomorrow. So again, check out my article. I'll post it. I have it in draft form. I'll be done in about an hour after, if not more, less than that, after I end this broadcast, and we'll be good to go. You'll have all the information. Okay, so now that that's been said, I've taken care of all the business. Now it's time for the guest. And actually, I haven't taken care of all the business. I don't know why I always do this. So for those who don't know me, I'm Clarene Mitchell, the LinkedIn Results Igniter. That's my moniker for me and my company. I'm a solo entrepreneur in the greater Milwaukee area. My business is all about leveraging LinkedIn for the benefits of my clients, or teaching my clients how to leverage LinkedIn, how to understand the platform and effectively use the platform. But that's not what the show is about. But I can't just not introduce myself. So I'm all about leveraging the platform more and helping my clients to get results. Then that's how I stand out from others who do what I do, is all about results generation. And so now that that's done, I want to introduce, and she's going to talk more about herself, but my next guest, and I guess it's good I just talked about who I am and what I do because she's one of my clients. So it's been, and I'm just going to bring her up because she's laughing at me, and I don't know why she's laughing at me.
You crack me up.
I hope that's in a good way. I'm going to take
it. It is. You know, I did a conference once. They introduced me. I came on stage. I did my whole pitch. Never said my name once.
I forget because I just get so excited, and then I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute, who am I?" And I can't assume that everyone has been here with us. So I have to, have the mindset. Maybe it's the first time somebody's been here. So let me go back and just make sure people know. So let me just say, so I am delighted to have, here she is, Carrie Murray, the founder of Brawl Network. Thank you for accepting my invitation to be here. I'm super excited to have Carrie. And let me say this before I forget. It is 4:05 p.m. in England. I just saw that in the chat.
It's happy hour. It's happy hour in England. Cheers.
Yes, happy hour. Like there's a 2-hour difference between Carrie and I always forget, like trying to coordinate with her. Like, wait a minute, what time is it there? Let me, okay, focus, Clarene. So Carrie and I, so I'm gonna give you the journey of Carrie and I meeting and to where we are now. So Carrie and I have a mutual connection. A woman I adore, Catherine Gray of She Angels, and she's another phenomenal women's empowerment woman with an organization, She Angels, and podcasts, and a whole bunch of other good stuff. And I have to work on getting her on too. Yes, but so Catherine and I collaborated and she held a private LinkedIn training for her network. And that's how I met Carrie, because Carrie was one of the attendees of that private training. And so that was the first touch point.
Yep.
Then Carrie had me give a private training for her group, Brawl Network. Of course, and you can talk more about that. I gave a private training then, so that was the second touch point. Then Carrie had booked and became a client of mine, where a direct personal one-on-one client, where she booked a LinkedIn power session with me. So 1, 2, 3 really trainings that Carrie has had with me. 2 group trainings and 1 individual training. And I love that journey because I often tell people there is so much to learn about LinkedIn. right? The platform is always changing, but there's so many different aspects of LinkedIn. And even so, from Carrie having 3 touch points with me training wise with LinkedIn, I'm sure she can attest to there's still more that can be learned, that different aspects of it, different focuses. But so welcome, Carrie. How has your perspective about LinkedIn changed after 3 touch points with me about using it as a woman entrepreneur, as a woman business owner, and being able to shine online? And how's that benefited you?
Well, first, thank you so much for having me as a guest. I really appreciate the opportunity to empower more women in entrepreneurship, but also to hang out with you because your energy is infectious. So before I took that very first LinkedIn course with you, I thought LinkedIn was like, the grown-ups table at Thanksgiving. Like it was something my mom did. I didn't know I needed it. And then actually, I'm telling you, I was like, I just had a page. And then once I took your course, I was like, oh, wait a minute. This is ripe with opportunity. Totally different. And then when I knew, I started talking to everyone in my network, Bra Network, and they were the same way. They were like, we need to leverage LinkedIn more. And then that's when I had you come. And then I didn't want to share you anymore. And I was like, okay, I want to do one-on-one so I can ask all the questions and not be bothered with everyone else's questions. So I didn't want to share you. But I think one of the strategies I still use today is I check who views my profile and I engage with them. And you taught me that. Also, the social selling index, going through that exercise to see your score. I know I'm obsessed with it. So I'll check it every month to see where my numbers are at, to see who am I engaging with. And also just not being overly salesy as soon as you accept someone's connection request. It's just like, bam, you need to buy for me. It's like, hold on, can I get to know you?
Like, court me first. Like, can we take it slow? Like, don't go to first base all at once. Slow it down.
Oh my gosh, I feel like it's like Tinder. It's like, go, swipe right, let's go, buy for me. I'm like, I don't even know you.
It's getting outrageous. I made a post, I think last week, where I've gotten so annoyed with the process, I created a graphic. And when someone sends me a salesy message, I don't know, like, you've not engaged with me. You just sending me a connection invite. I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't like you. I don't trust you. Like, we don't have any of that established. So I send them the graphic. Research shows that people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And I sent it to someone the other day, and they got offended. Like, well, okay. Like, but it's gotten outrageous on LinkedIn with those. So LinkedIn is all about social selling, and that's totally different from the traditional sales process. It's more about establishing those authentic relationships. So I'm glad that you're on board with that. You're like,
now I get it.
Yes.
Yeah. Now I get it, and I have made so many authentic, and with integrity, as well as I'm genuinely curious, and to the people who view my profile and the people who I follow. And I love seeing the connection, like, oh, Clarene follows this person or this person. And I'm like, oh, well, who are you? I want to see if I need to get to know you. So I'm just obsessed with it now. And after taking your course, I've scheduled out my content. I always have you in the back of my mind.
You're giving all the secrets away, Carrie. You're giving all the secrets away. People have to book with me to get all that now.
That's right. I'm not going to give all the special sauce recipe away. You're right. But I love working with you.
Thank you. It's been a game changer for you, mindset wise, and being able to leverage and use it differently. And people don't understand that it's for all of us, not just other people. It's for all of us, even as, more importantly, as business owners, as entrepreneurs. It's not just for job seekers. There's value we can get from the platform because that's what it's for. That's what it was created for, unlike the other platforms. I'll just say that. But the more you put into it, the more you get from it, right? And so if you just have, as you mentioned, your profile just sitting there, you're not going to get the results from it at all. And I think I forgot to mention, so if you're a Bra member, Bra Network member, please put it in the chat, put it in the comments, just put Brawl member. And so we know who's there. And so let me even say, as of, and I don't know the exact date, but as of the last 2 weeks, I gave my business a gift, meaning I became a Brawl Network member, and I am so thrilled and excited to be a Brawl Network member. It was one of my ways to celebrate being a woman entrepreneur, and it's Women's History Month. So every year, I can renew my membership during Women's History Month. As a gift, because I felt, and that, and I've shared this with you, Carrie, how it gets lonely being a woman entrepreneur, yes. And so having a tribe, having that network, the camaraderie, and no one understands the life of entrepreneurship like an entrepreneur, fellow entrepreneur, especially woman entrepreneur. But let me stop talking. Who are you, Carrie? What is Brawl Network? What is that? And that's an acronym. Like, what that mean?
Well, first, there's Dawn. I see Dawn in the chat. She's a Brawl member. Hey, Dawn. Dawn is amazing. So BRA stands for Business Relationship Alliance. We are a network of female entrepreneurs that lift and support each other. Hold on. Just like a good bra.
And about that. Okay.
Yeah. That's my tagline. Sticking to it. So we make the commitment to really work with each other first. So the way we empower each other within the network is if you need an architect, a LinkedIn expert, or a dog walker, or whatever, we look within the broad directory and see, okay, which women or woman can I empower and hire and work with? A graphic designer, a web designer, because we want to keep the money flowing between our community. So we're empowering more women with more than just saying we're an empowerment network. We actually do it. We look to collaborate, to create partnerships. If you need a new podcast guest, we look who's in the network, who can we leverage and really celebrate each other. Those collaborations happen constantly. It's really encouraging when I see like, oh, Bree is working with Michelle, and Michelle is now working with Casey, and you see the kind of line of everyone working together. It's really, really fantastic. And I think it's the best way to, honestly, my goal of BRA was to change the global economy and to have more women making money. And that as, female founders, I want us to eventually become female funders, that we are now the bank that other female entrepreneurs come to and say, I'm looking for investment dollars. I'm looking for a partnership. So because we're not getting any of this VC funding, we're not getting angel funding.
Right.
All going to men. And so we have to be more aggressive about it. So that's a long-term goal for BRA. I want it to be founders becoming funders. And we also we're not people who, get really cliquish and hold all the secrets. Like, I'm not going to share with you this cool hack I learned on Instagram. Instead, we share our wisdom. Share your wisdom, but charge for expertise.
Share wisdom, but charge for
expertise. Yeah, because so many women, and it's back to imposter syndrome, when they're first starting out in entrepreneurship, they don't charge enough. They don't think anybody will pay them, so they lower their prices. They think that the work that they're getting is a fluke. It's just like, oh, that was just luck. I'm not worthy of this. And they discount. Before they even gone into a sales call or a pitch, they'll be like, okay, I'll give them 20% off. And they haven't even pitched themselves yet. They're already lowering their prices. And I'm really trying to encourage women beyond BRA to stop giving stuff away for free. You are of value. Put a dollar amount to what it is you're selling, your offer, your service, your product. Stop being like, okay, well, here, you can have it for free. Can you give me a testimonial? So it's
can I ask this, Carrie? Because that sounds great. And I understand, because as an entrepreneur, so it'll be 4 years for me in July, and I've gone through a journey of getting it to the point of owning my expertise and demanding my worth. But how do women get to that point? Like, how do they get to the point of really
it's community,
their expertise, their worth, and demanding that? It's easier said than done. So
it's so true. And it comes from, honestly, the empowerment of your community. Who are you surrounding yourself with to cheer you on? I consider myself the soccer mom of entrepreneurs. I stand on the sidelines and say, the price is the price. You're not reducing it. This is what you're doing. Go be successful. But it's really what we need is the modern day sewing circle, right? We need that kind of community of like, let's sit around and tinker. Like, what are you charging? You photograph weddings. What do you charge? Well, I charge 8,000. Well, why am I only charging 1,500? You know, creating the conversation within your community, that actually is where the women feel like supported and they feel like, hey, empowered. I got this. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say it's $8,000 to shoot your wedding. And that's that.
And it's probably still even worth more than that, right?
Oh, of course. Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially in comparison to a man, like real talk, who could be doing the same thing, have less expertise or less education or less skills or whatever, and charging more and getting that more. But we downgrade ourselves, underbid ourselves, and we get less because we ask for less, but demanding more and being firm with that. I've had it happen to me many times where people wanted, you know, I call it nickel and dime me or underrate me. It's like, I'm not a nonprofit. I'm not a charity. This is a business. This is how I eat. This is how I pay my bills. This is my livelihood. So getting to that point, I have a mentor. She's worked with me to get me through my journey of raising my rates. And it was a mind shift, right?
It is.
Put that, but it was that encouragement and that push and accountability from her that got me to it. But once you get there, it's like, there's no turning back. No, I can't go backwards and only charge this, because once you start getting paid close to your worth, then you have that validation, but you have that empowerment too. Like, yes, it comes better. We feel better about the work that we do when we're paid for that service at the amount that it's worth, versus like resenting or being regretful of doing it when it's at a lower rate.
And I also think it's our responsibility to not nickel and dime other women. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like we're all trying to work here. We're all trying to create something great and impactful and put food on the table. So let's not go to each other. Can I get a discount? like I get if you want to trade services, like your LinkedIn knowledge for maybe someone doing your website.
But it has to be a win-win on both hands. It can't be like, oh, you're up here and my little bit here, or vice versa. It has to be of equal value
100%. And I think when women start to raise their prices, the first thing that their imposter syndrome might say is perfectionism, right? So now they have to retweak everything. It's not going to be good enough. I have to redo my whole website because I'm charging more. I have to refix that lead when it's actually just fine. It's just fine. So perfectionism can really disguise itself as imposter syndrome.
Most definitely. Yeah. I have, and again, from my mentor, the phrase progress over perfection, because that was really one of my downfalls, just wanting everything to be flawless. And even with my LinkedIn posts, like, there's typos in some of those. There's like, but progress over perfection, like get it done, get it out there, edit as necessary, or improve on the next round. Because we're getting close, and I try to have this 30 minutes and we're not going to make it, but I want to give some room though for questions. And so if any of you have questions, please put a Q in front of your comment and then ask your question that you may have for Carrie. I want to say before I forget, and I'm trying to go through the chat to make sure, I see a lot of support about raising those rates, charging our worth. People are like, yes. And someone I saw stumbled upon Brawl yesterday, so I'm glad they're here and they want to learn more. Share wisdom, chart. Wait a minute, I'm missing that quote. Comment from a man. Share wisdom, charge your expertise. I like that quote.
Yeah.
What was
I use it a lot.
I was getting ready to say something and I knew I was going to forget. This is the thing, and I don't know if I'm going to share. So, Carrie, before when I shared my LinkedIn profile, could you see? Well, you're on.
No. I couldn't see it, but I thought it might be because I'm a guest.
Right. And I couldn't look on my phone. So I'm going to just say this. Go to Brawl's website, and Carrie, you can say, the website, but there's a great quiz on the website that you can do for free to find out your superpower. It is a fun process. I did it the other day and found out, well, I already knew, but I love the title. Sometimes you can do assessments or whatever, and then they really don't match up. But it matched up. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's me. That's me.
Yeah.
Empress is
Empress.
That is why. But do the free quiz. So give the website, Carrie.
Yeah, it's broad-network.com. And the quiz is Find Your Inner Superpower. It's kind of based on a tarot card, a la, so it's, there it is. There's your superpower. And then you go in and you answer some fun questions and find out, are you a high prophet? Are you a connector? So those are all of them. Are you a collaborator? Are you the pinnacle of, passions? That means you're constantly doing multiple things. It's a fun quiz, and it's free. Yeah, it's fun.
And so here's the website for Broad. And again, you just go where it says take an entrepreneur tarot quiz, get that. But you can also see, learn more about Broad Network, the directory of the members here, the events, and it's so much more. Let me go back. So are there any questions? I don't want to, let me remove this, miss any of the questions. Any questions, just put a Q so that I can see it. It stands out. Yes, Dawn, progress over perfection.
Perfection. Yeah, so true. So true. I do want to tell you, I read this book, and it's called The Secret Thoughts of Successful Women. This really helped me get over my imposter syndrome. I didn't write it or anything, but if anybody is
that, so I can put it in the News Digest today.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the author is Valerie Young, but it's a great read. It really helped me get through my imposter syndrome when I first, because my first run at entrepreneurship, was a total failure. And I was like, whoa, but I got myself back up. That's a story for another day.
you saw me like, woo, let's talk about that.
That's a different podcast. That's a different show. Perseverance.
You have to stick at it though. And I'll include that book in the News Digest later. But and I've published a LinkedIn article about this, mistakes that I've made, like that could have been detrimental to my business. But it's like, okay, yeah, I did that.
You learn.
I learned it exactly. We learn from it. We adjust accordingly. And then we keep it moving. So,
and you know what got me out of that failure was my community. I hadn't even founded Bra yet, but it was my community that was just like, got me right back up, helped me see perspective and be like, take a step back. That was a failure, but what did we learn from it? That really helped me a lot. So just keep that in mind. That's also a little bit of imposter syndrome when you just sit in that kind of like negative I failed. Nope, let's reframe that and say, you succeeded in learning something you shouldn't do.
Okay. Right. I like that. Let me see. This is, let me put it up here that way I can read it. Carrie, how did you start introducing payment for Bra and encourage members to buy the membership products?
Oh, so the membership is it's a one-time fee. It's $179. And I kept it at a price that's accessible to any
I was surprised with how reasonable the membership rate is. Yeah.
And so I push the community part of it because to me, I don't want to be this elite kind of super, super uber expensive networking group. I want it to be accessible to anyone on their journey, whether it's their first year or 40th year. And it just makes the network more rich, but once you get in it, you're like, oh, I want to go to that event. Well, that event's going to be $25. Or if you want this add-on, that's where I also have revenue.
But even with the $179, the membership, there's a lot of resources that are included in the $179, right? Beyond. So if you can go through some of those real quick, just even list it in the directory and
you get your own landing page
because you have 300 members, right?
Plus members, all over the U.S. One in Canada and one in Nigeria. She has a works on a reservation and does travel
Wow.
tours.
Okay.
But in the membership, you get your own landing page. You get your own page in the directory. That's basically like your profile, has all your, email, contact, testimonials. It brags about you. From there, any networking events we have, any kind of fun events we have, you get discounts on those. But you also get like 20 plus hours of any kind of education, podcasts, blogs, video courses. But you also get to be included in this community. And it's kind of like a badge. You're kind of like, are you a bra member? Are you a bra member? Oh, you are. Okay. Well, then I want to know more about you.
Right.
So if someone needs help with their LinkedIn, we all know who to point to. We all know to say, oh, you need to go to Clarene Mitchell. And you're the only one in the network that does what you do. So that also gives you a little bit of leverage. But for example, we have like over 20 photographers, but they're all do something different. We have all kinds of coaches. But if one coach is like not your jam, then that's okay. You've got 15 more to choose from. And so it's like, you don't necessarily feel like you have to work with somebody, but it's kind of nice if you can keep the money flowing between us, empower the women within our network. And if there's a skill or something you need and it's not there, let's go find her and bring her in. Let's bring her into this. I have one contractor. Yeah, because there's just not a lot of female contractors.
Right.
One contractor in LA. And she's always busy because women want to hire women. You want to build relationships. Right. That's why we keep spending money.
And the membership also includes shout outs or features or on your social media pages, in your blog, one blog feature, right? So there's still benefits in that base rate. Right.
Yeah. And if you have any events or new offers, I put it in the newsletter, which is called the Underwire. It's very punny brand. So any offers, anything goes in the calendar. And actually the community calendar is available for anybody. You don't have to be a member. But if you are a member, I promote your events as well. It goes in the bra calendar. But that's a big part of it.
And the same
like if you go on, if you go on my Instagram, I purposely featured you because I knew I was doing this on Member Monday. I featured Clarene. You can see it at bra.
Thank you. There's also the question of, are the events online? And so I can attest to that. Yeah. Yes. Because when I was a trainer for Carrie, it was an online training, virtual. So, because I'm in Wisconsin, Carrie's in California, and there again members all over the country, or and internationally. And it looks like you may get one from England now.
That would be my first. But and we were actually online prior to the pandemic. So the kind of transition into COVID and what all of this quarantine, I was like, I'm already here. Come on. So it was pretty seamless we have our big fundraising galas. Those were in person. But that's because we partner with a nonprofit to, help raise money for them. But courses, networking, all of it is online.
And so yesterday was my bra.
The fitting room.
And let me just say this. Carrie is phenomenal at doing these spins off of just the bra, and just like for different aspects of the network, the corset trainings that she had. But yesterday was my orientation for Bra Network. And I loved how I log on after another meeting and I hear music, I hear Diana Ross, I'm coming out. And it's like, yes, let's go. And it was so hyped and just the energy. And I'm like, this what this gonna be like? Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
Party. One of my branding words is fun. So we're going to have fun, even if we're in quarantine. I'm having fun.
So Carrie, would be great to connect, and it would be my second American connection. So please connect with Carrie via LinkedIn. So send her a connection invite. Let her know that you were a part of this Imposter Syndrome Disrupted episode. That's how you found her. And then follow up. Check out the Bra Network website and all the offerings there. And you can process your membership application right there on the website.
Yeah, that's right. It's really easy.
Okay, so we're way over. So we're going to end this. Any final wrap up or any information that you would like to share, Carrie, with everyone?
Well, you had a quote, so I have a quote too. And you can borrow this one. I recently posted this for Women's History Month, and it's, for most of history, anonymous was a woman. So anytime in history when you saw anonymous, a quote, a book, and it was authored by anonymous, it was a woman. And the woman who said that is Virginia Woolf. So I love that quote. So
we have to put our names on it. Like, let's get our names on everything. Let's own us and our brilliance.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much for having me. This is so fun. I could talk forever about this. You know that.
Like, we got time, and I don't, like, it's 11:40. We're already 10 minutes over, and I want to respect people's time, because the whole ideal is, like, especially once people get back to like work, kind of schedules, to make it real quick during the lunch hour or morning, wherever they are, but not to intrude on their time. So I try to keep it tight. But wow, yes, this has been fun. Thank you so much, Carrie.
Thank you
for having the time to devote to this conversation. I think it's been helpful to everyone. So again, ladies, everyone, and thank you, Jasmine from Milwaukee, for checking in as well. But again, as a reminder, share this. If this has been helpful, if you appreciate Imposter Syndrome Disrupted, share this video with your network. All you gotta do is hit the share button on LinkedIn and just say a comment or two. That would be great. So just please share the video. The next episode will be, so we're always second and fourth Tuesday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So the next episode will be April 13th.
Okay.
All right. So stay tuned for announcements about who the guest will be, or the topic, and all of that. It may just be Tawana Ross, but I have to check. We have to coordinate time, since I already put that little teaser out there. I need to follow up and make sure.
You're coming, Tawana. Get ready.
All right, we're going to close. So thank you so much, everyone. See you next time, and make sure you check it out. Like, give me at least an hour, but the news digest with all the key information that I shared earlier. Take care, everyone. See you next time. Continue to be super women.
Love it.